Hi guys, the DIY woodworker here. I'm in the process of starting to build the shelves for the bottom cabinet. Right now what I'm doing is cutting the side pieces. I've already cut all the length side pieces. Now I'm cutting the last of the front and back pieces that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this on. These are the last pieces. Okay, that's that. So what I need to do next is rip this in half. So I'll end up with a 3/8 inch wide board. This is 3/4 inch. And I'll take that 3/8 and I'll mill it down to approximately 1/2 inch, maybe just a tad thicker than 1/2 inch. And that'll form my front, backs, and sides. Now what I did here, you can see what I did here to facilitate cutting these long 8-foot boards is I put me in an extended fence on my saw fence here to help with that, and that made a big difference. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set up, run a couple of test cuts here to make sure I've got this thing perfectly centered, and then come back and show you that process. So I'll pause the camera for now and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Trying to talk over my shop back running here. This is the last of my boards I got to rip. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and show you how I do that. So it's going to get loud. I know that looks a whole lot more dangerous than what it actually is, what I was doing. I'm taking and ripping these 3/4 inch boards down to roughly 3/8, and then I'll take and I'll mill them down on my planer to just about a 1/2 inch. So what I do here, you see my saw, here's the end of the saw blade, here's the end of my clearance, zero clearance insert. When I'm cutting these boards and I'm running them through, I don't let my fingers get past the end of this zero clearance board, which keeps my fingers a good inch, inch and a half from the blade, plus I'm up an inch and a half this way. And when I get down to about here, that's when you see me resort to my 2 push sticks. So keep my hands clear of that blade at all times, because that thing will eat you up. So, okay, that's that. I need to set up my joint or my planer, thickness planer, and I'll get that set up and I'll show you that operation. Okay guys, I've got this wood here. I'm going to try to mill it all down, and I'm going to run one piece right behind the other, try to cut down on the snipe. drawers. One quick way to make a mess. Okay, I got all those milled down to just a little over of a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to leave it at that. That'll be good enough for what I'm doing. Next thing to do is to get my finger joint jig out and cut finger joints in all of these pieces. And the front pieces, the 1, 2, 3, the 6 front pieces, I got to cut those in half because I'm only going to make those a little over 2 inches tall. And the side pieces, I need to go ahead and cut the slope into those that I'm going to put into them. So I'm going to go ahead and set up and do all that, and we'll show you what the completed box sides looks like when I get to that point. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the camera for now, and we'll be back with you shortly. Hi guys. In lieu of a jigsaw, which I don't have, I've got this little blade runner. It's basically a jigsaw in reverse. There's a little blade in the bottom, comes up and down, and it runs. What I'm doing is cutting the rough shape that I want in my side pieces, so the front of the cabinet will be lower than the back. And I cut down to the last 2 pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those now. These are the same, but what I plan on doing now is taking all these 12 pieces that I got, lining them up, clamping them together, and running them on my bench saw over here. Bench saw, running them on my belt sander to get all of these shapes the same and equal. So I'll go ahead and pause the camera for now, set that up, and be right back with you. Okay, I've got these all clamped together now. The idea is to try and shave these all to the same dimensions here. Make sure that this is all clamped. Close enough. Here we go. close enough. What I'm tempted to do is get these all pretty much the same shape. They're close enough to what I'm doing. And all I'll do is take these all apart. I need to cut my bottom shelf bottoms now. Cut those all to width and run a dado in them to accept these sides and the fronts and the back. So I'll pause the camera again while I set up to do that. And I've got to cut 6 of them, so I'll go ahead and cut the first 5, get those cut off camera, and film the cutting of the one, because you don't need to watch me cutting wood. So be back with you momentarily. Okay guys, what I've been doing is cutting my shelves that I need. Put my box frame around. I've cut the 5 of them off camera, and I'll go through what I had to do on some of those here in a minute. But this is my last one. I'm going to go ahead and cut it for you on camera. But 19 3/8 wide. I'll set that dimension now. The scrap pieces that I had to build these shelves out of, they weren't square. Who knows? I can't explain why I cut some of the wood crooked like I did, but it wasn't square. So what I did was took this 15-inch square and put it on the board like this and got a square edge. Then I took and screwed down a piece here off the board here, and then extended that with another piece here. This would give me a straight edge. And I run this through the saw. I run it through the saw this way with a straight edge, and that'd give me a straight edge here. So I'd have a straight edge here and a straight edge here, and then I'd have to turn the wood and do the same thing. I already have 2 straight edges on either side, so I take and put this down and do the same process here. I screw these down and make sure that this is straight. Then I'd run it through the saw and it'd give me a straight edge here. Then I could turn it around and then cut my dimensions out of it. And that gave me my 3 boards. So those are ready to go. Now what I need to do is set up my dado blade and get ready to cut the dados for these side, front, back pieces to fit on top of the shelf. I'm going to do that next, and when I've got that done, set up, I'll come back and film some more. So for now, the DIY Woodworker, we'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, I've got 5 of my 6 shelves, rabbets cut in them already. What I've done is put a sacrificial fence up here on my saw, because this blade is so close to it, I didn't want that to be that close to my aluminum fence. And that's working just fine. I run this alongside it. I'll go ahead and cut these and you'll see how it comes out. cutting that. What I'll do, these side pieces will go, or the front and back will go here, like this. And then of course my uniquely shaped side pieces will go in here like this. Now I need to cut this front and back piece down because actually with the dado, the rabbits in there and this cut, I'm left that a little bit long, but I'll do that when I take my dado blade out and put my normal saw blade back in and take care of that. So that's that. The rabbits are cut, moving right along. I'm going to break this down, put my regular saw blade back in, cut my front and back pieces to width. And we'll be back with you shortly. Alright folks, I'm back and about ready to, this is the front edge of the drawers, these sharp 90-degree edges. I'm going to round those both. I got a little 1/4 inch round over here. I'm going to round these, give that a round top so when the wife pulls on it, she's not pulling against the sharp edge. I don't know if you noticed or not, but that shop vac sucking here, it sucks all the cut-off pieces just right back up and out the vacuum. Without that, man, I'd have sawdust flying everywhere. Okay, that's my 6 drawer fronts, edges, all rounded. And we're going to call it a day because I'm slapped wore out. As you can see, I'm nice and dry. Not a dry stick on me. I've been out here for hours and I've about exceeded my limit. So tomorrow I will start putting these drawers, well, Monday I'll start putting these drawers together. And we'll be back to filming in. For now, this is a DIY woodworker. We'll talk to you later.